Hey, I'm back. Ashley Nance talking about hero stories. I'm really excited to be part of the Brain Based Summit and discussing some things with you that I learned in school because I think it's not fair that teachers learn these things, but parents of the children that need that the most don't always get to find out. So, a little sneak peek into Special Ed 101 or 201 or 301, wherever this is, social stories. It is a really effective way of helping children, especially children with disabilities, intellectual delays, but really anybody, even teenagers, rowdy teenagers, frustrating teenagers, fabulous teenagers. We love them. To correct difficult behaviors that we don't fully understand, maybe, and then frustrating, sometimes even dangerous behaviors. And a lot of times it's easy to focus on the behavior. What do we do? Um, what do we do right now? I need to do this right now. So this is a proactive thing that you do not while they're doing the behavior that you don't like, but before in a calm time or after in a calm time. So you have to be ready. And me outline really quick. First of all, what is a hero story? A hero story is I call it a hero story because it's more fun than social story. It makes you think of social media. So hero story is basically a story where your child who's struggling is the hero. And how do you become a hero? You become a hero by coming up against a difficult thing that you then overcome to be victorious in the end. You save the day. We are ideally the heroes of our own lives. And so this is just a little snapshot of a way that your child can be the superhero in their own life. So a hero story has a challenge, a quest, and victory. So just like any hero story, if you are in marketing, you use hero stories all the time it's called the hero's journey. You go through, you get a challenge, you go forward, you meet someone who helps you and you do something else and then you are sure you can't make it and then you keep going and then you're the victorious, yay, I win. It's really not that different. And so, hey, Melissa, challenge could be, this is a behavior. So this could be running away. This could be hitting. This could be biting. This could be Sass's mom talks back. Whatever. The quest, you kind of have to outline for them, and we'll go through that. It's not as hard as it sounds. You kind of have to get into their head. What makes this a challenge? Because a lot of times the challenging behaviors aren't all that challenging for us to do the same thing. So if it's too loud, then they run away. We don't like it when it's too loud, but we don't run away. So you have to kind of, what would make you want to run away? What would be a situation where you would actually hightail it and leave? Chances are there's an answer to that question. You could think of a situation that would make you want to run away. So put yourself in their shoes, thinking that the thing that would make you run away is the level of stress they're experiencing when they run away. So that's just one example. The quest and then the victory, of course, is they do the thing that is right. And the beauty of a hero story is that they're successful every time you read it. So maybe they didn't even do it. It's been a month since they ran away, but they've read their hero story about how they asked you before they went outside 20 times. That's 20 victories for like one mess up. And then if they run away again, it's like, oh, right. And it just becomes part of their psyche that I ask. Of course I do, because I'm a hero, and that's what heroes do. So we'll go through each of these steps and how to do it. And I'm going to try to keep it under 20 minutes because I know busy moms that are trying to deal with behaviors don't have a ton of time for all the meta stuff. So if you want meta stuff, we can do meta stuff. Go to ashleylnance.youcanbook.me and set up a time to talk to me, and we'll go over whatever you want to go over. But right now, we're going to clip along. The challenge, so the first step is the challenge, and that's the behavior you want to get rid of. I found that it's really helpful if you just list out all the stuff that makes you insane, just drives you crazy. Make a huge list. They run, they bite, they scream. I've got a screamer. She screams at the resonance frequency of my skull. It just feels like, bleh. It'd be better if I just melted. What else? Fight with siblings. Won't eat food. Spills stuff. And just get it out. It's really therapeutic. I love making lists like this. Just get it out. Very good. So once you've got it all out and you're feeling good, you're like, okay, I can do this. Pick one. You can keep the list if you want and write one for each. But so I'm going to go with run this time. I had a runner, and that's scary. Thankfully, I always know where she was going. That's not always true. So run. I'm going to go with run. Keep that list for another time, and you can repeat this process as many times as you want to read books. So now we need a quest. What are the steps? What are the things that happen before your child runs? I'm using a specific example. I actually wrote a social story for a child who was in 2nd grade and had Down syndrome, and he actually didn't run because he was overstimulated. He ran because he was bored. He didn't want to be inside anymore, and it just didn't occur to him that he should ask anybody before he left. So he just left. And since they were near a major highway, that was a problem. And then he easily got lost, and then he couldn't find his way back. He had no sense of when he should come back. So it was tricky. So the quest is the steps that he already follows. So previous to running, he was playing very nicely, and then he was gone. So he's playing some game. And then he gets bored. And try to get in their head from their perspective, because if you take a preachy tone with these stories, it does not work. So think of it from their perspective, and we're going to workshop this all the way to done. What else does he do? So does he get his coat? Does he get a helmet for his bike? Does he grab his favorite toy? Does he grab the dog? So let's say he gets his coat, and he always remembers his helmet. One of those things. It's like, he remembers his helmet. Why doesn't he remember to tell me he's going outside? Yeah, it's a thing. So, and then he just sleeps. So this is the step that's going to end up being the victory. The step you choose here is really, really important, because it can't be condescending. It can't be over simple, but it needs to be something that moves him in the right direction. So what you want to choose is something that he's done ever, but not as often as you'd like. Ideally, right now, he would ask, Mom, can I go outside? But let's say he's never done that. But he has said, bye, Mom, and told me he was going to go outside. Just told me. So we're going to put that here. Sometimes he doesn't always do that, but sometimes he does. And he says, bye, Mom. So I at least know he's leaving. Okay. So this is our hero story. Never at any time in the social story we're about to write are we going to mention running away. This is not the behavior we are focusing on. We are focusing on super child who says, bye, mom, every time. Wow. This is a big deal. And your child should feel approval and love and acceptance and go you, just oozing out of you when you actually share this story with them. This is the part where it gets fun, because now your actual real life flesh and blood child gets to be part of this story. You're going to take his picture doing everything that you're going to write about. Say, I'm writing a book about you and I need some pictures. So I'm going to take your picture doing a few different things, and then I'm going to make a book and I'm going to read it to you. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, so I guess I know some kids that don't like having their picture taken, but most of them really like to pose for things. So have him get out his favorite game, say, I want to get a picture of you playing, really enjoying yourself. So get out your favorite game and play it, and I'll take some pictures of you, and you can decide which one's your favorite. Okay, so he gets out Jenga and plays, and you're like, oh, can you smile? Oh, look at me. No, now look at the pieces. Okay, great. He's getting mom's attention. This is so big. It's not so important to just impress this on you, that we're changing ourselves through this process so that we can support a new, difficult next step in the child. So the process of this story is making ourselves into the kind of person who can be there for a child who's doing scary new things that they currently don't feel like they can do. So back to taking pictures. This is the thing. I got chalk on myself. Great. So we got a picture of you playing. Okay, now look bored. You got to look bored. Okay, so he looks bored. And he's having a good time. And this can be over several sessions. If he doesn't want to pay attention for that long, it's fine. I use he because it's better than they. She, he. Okay, now put your coat on and zip it up. Show me you can zip it. I'm going to take a picture of you zippering it. Zip it, zip it, zip it. Very good. Does that work? Or do you want a different? Just make them be part of it. This is their hero story after all. This is their book, the book about them. Now your other kids are going to want one too, so be ready because they're going to want one too. Okay, so helmet. And do it. You definitely need to do it. Okay, put your helmet on, click it underneath. Oh, get closer. Like, make it a big deal. This is a thing. Your child is fantastic. There's no doubt about it. And they just need to feel that enthusiasm from you. Because that's the momentum that is going to carry them to the ultimate victory in real life. It's easy to put it on paper. We need to get them there in real life. And they need to know that we love them where they are so they can feel safe doing another scary thing. Okay, so now before you leave, remember how you say bye, mom? So say, bye, mom, I'm going outside, just so you know. So he's waving. He's got the door half open and he's waving. You got his picture. Great. Now, I don't care what you do with it at this point. Put it in a Word document. Google Slides works great. I love putting stuff on Google Slides, but that works better if you're just scrolling through it. Word might be better if you're going to cut it up and staple it. You can also use Shutterfly or some other service to make a print book. Also highly recommended. They'll love that. They can bring it to school and show it to their friends. Look, my mom wrote a book about me. Who doesn't want that? That's so cool. So now I'm going to back up a little bit. Looks like we do have some room. Okay, so we're going to call him Keegan. I never actually use real names of kids when I do these, just so you know. Keegan is playing Jenga. And then you put it in the picture. This is so simple. With an older child, it might need to be a little bit more complicated, but this is basically the idea. You got him playing Jenga. That's mine. Yay. Now he's bored. You don't need to have a creative writing degree to do this. It really is not. The most important thing is that you created it. Now he's bored. Spelling is good too. Bored. He wants to go outside. Now he's outside. Ooh, or he's thinking about the outside. Take a picture of the playground. I want to go there. I want to go outside. He zips his coat. He snaps his helmet. This child was 8, helmet, with a lower reading level. So this is really cool because he could even read it. Also gets literacy skills going. There's no end of applications for this. And then this is the moment. This is the moment of triumph. What else does he need to do? This is so when you're reading it with him, he can remember, he can anticipate. What is the next thing? What's the next thing? Do you remember the thing that you did that won you, the story that saved the day, made you a hero? Every single time I read this book, you're a hero. You remember what that thing was? What else does he need to do? Tell Mom I'm going outside. Yay! Bye, Mom. Says Keegan. Yay! Read it again, Mom. Anyway, so you get the idea. We can do this for older kids too. This is great with bullying. Maybe we'll walk through something really quick with bullying. What do you think? So the idea here is to keep it simple, keep it not preachy, high level, happy, celebrating. You don't have to be goofy like I'm being goofy. That's kind of my thing. But be you. Put you in it. So let's start with let's do an older child who's being bullied. Let's do that. Because you can also do this